Finally, Kenya will have digital audio broadcasting, and I'm very excited to share this news with you. In recent years, Kenya fully migrated to the digital TV platform, so we no longer have any analog TV broadcasts in Kenya, but we will still have analog broadcasts, and that is FM radio. But now, with the Communication Authority of Kenya notice, we will soon have digital audio radio. But this does not mean that FM is going away. So what happens next? Will your home theater, your TV, your FM radio, will it be able to pick up these digital audio broadcasts? What kind of new equipment will you need? I'll be here to explain everything, including the difference between DAB Plus and DAB. But first, let's read the notice from the Communications Authority of Kenya. Kenya rolls out first trial of digital sound broadcasting services. The CA has facilitated the activation of Kenya's first trial digital sound broadcasting DSB for radio services in Nairobi, marking a major step towards the future of radio as the world celebrates World Radio Day 2026. Sound broadcasting remains one of the country's most important media platforms, reaching about 98% of homes and supporting 300 licensed broadcast services. However, FM frequencies in VHF band 2, 87.5 to 108.0 MHz are saturated in major coverage areas, leaving little room for new broadcasters, increased interference, and relatively poor audio quality. In 2023, the authority developed a framework for digital sound broadcasting, primarily focusing on digital audio broadcasting in VHF band 3, 174 to 230 MHz, and on digital radio mondial in the HF band 30 MHz. The framework was subjected to stakeholder engagement with input from broadcasters, signal distributors, equipment vendors, government agencies, and industry associations. In 2025, the authority granted authorization to 2 licenses, Signet Signal Distributors Limited and Mast Rental Services Limited, to deploy trial networks for digital sound broadcasting. In January 2026, Mast Rental became the first operator to deploy a DAB Plus trial network and currently carries 14 programs within the Nairobi coverage area. I'm within the Nairobi coverage area and I'm very excited to try out this new product. Although I do not have any DAB radio, DAB stands for Digital Audio Broadcasting, but you can see here that Mast Rental is deploying a DAB Plus network. So Digital Audio Broadcasting Plus, this is a better version of digital audio broadcasting because it carries more channels for the same bandwidth and it has better audio quality. So with a DAB Plus radio, you can listen to DAB radio stations, but with a DAB only radio, you cannot listen to DAB Plus radio stations. So it will be very important for us to buy a DAB Plus equipped radio. If you're going to buy a digital radio, buy a DAB Plus radio, not just a DAB radio. We're going to look at some of the models I found on AliExpress later on in this live stream. Let's continue with the notice. The activation of the digital sound broadcasting signal marks a key milestone for sound broadcasting in Kenya. Broadcasters and investors stand to gain from wider coverage, lower barriers to entry, and new revenue opportunities. By separating content provision from signal distribution, broadcasters can focus on compelling content to serve diverse needs of consumers. The ability to carry multiple services on a single channel is expected to lower transmission costs and create space for new entrants, including community broadcasters, by providing reserved capacity at nominal carriage costs. Since I've worked at KBC transmission station, I'm the best person to explain what that means. Now, traditionally, if you own an FM station, you are responsible for creating the content and transmitting it to the end user. But with the DAB now, you are only responsible for just creating the content, because a carrier, like we have seen, the 2 carriers, Signet and the other one, Rental Mast, they will be responsible for transmitting, and this will bring the cost of transmission down. Because recently, if you owned a radio station, you have to have a mast in Nairobi, in Kisii, in Kisumu, in Mombasa, Nakuru, and such other places. But with digital audio broadcasting, you will be only required to just produce the content, because these other companies are going to transmit it for you, and it's going to be much cheaper than just traditional FM. But like I said earlier, FM is not going anywhere. For consumers, digital radio means clearer sound, reduced harmful interference, and a wider choice of programming. Listeners will benefit from increased content diversity, including niche, regional, and thematic services, as well as potential value-added data services such as program and station information. What I'm reading into that is DAB radios will have a screen so that you can read this information. You see, modern small radios, especially the entry-level FM radios, they don't have a screen. They have these digital controls. It's very hard to know whatever station you are listening to, but with a screen, this will make it much easier. That does not mean that FM does not have this information, because we have RDS, which is Radio Data Service. It works in the analog format, but it carries digital information, so you can see the FM radio you are listening to, and sometimes even maybe the program or the song playing on radio. I will link that short video I did a few years ago in the video description of this live stream. Over time, through the framework, the authority aims to substantially expand the number and variety of services, including digital-only stations serving diverse communities. The DSB technology will initially complement, not replace, existing FM services. No analog switch-off date has been set, ensuring continuity for all listeners while digital platforms are rolled out in phases, beginning with the Mombasa-Nairobi-Kisumu corridor and major population centers. The authority shall conduct monitoring and evaluation of the network over the 12-month trial deployment period to ensure adequate signal coverage, good quality of service, affordable receivers, and public education to drive voluntary uptake. So it's voluntary, and I'm very eager to buy a DAB radio. And finally, this is a very long sentence. I hope I've got it. With this deployment, Kenya joins a growing community of countries adopting or conducting digital radio trials as the next frontier in sound broadcasting, and will work with regional bodies to support harmonized approaches that enhance interoperability and investment. Now let's take a look at some of the DAB radios that I found on AliExpress. Over here, I've just searched for DAB radio, but for much better chances, just add a plus sign and search for DAB plus radio. And these are some of the radios. First, this is a car audio DAB radio, but this is not DAB plus. This is just a DAB receiver. Next, we have this DAB plus radio. This is from GT Media. This is something I would recommend for you to buy. It seems nice. Let's take a look at the reviews. Quite a nice DAB radio, sensitive enough and plays really well. I'm satisfied. It's pretty good sound, lots of features. I'm convinced. Here we have another DAB radio, but this is also not DAB plus. I will put a link to this radio so that you can buy it and tell me how it goes. It will be an affiliate link, and I will get a small commission when you buy this radio. Once my pending payments come through, I'm definitely buying this radio. It even has free shipping. Let me search for a DAB plus car radio. Yes, we have a cheap DAB plus FM and AM radio here. This is nice. It's cheap, DAB plus. It will have enhanced audio quality, although I cannot guarantee if it will be powerful enough than your normal car radio. but here we have it. I can buy one and maybe connect it to an audio amplifier. I want to see the ports at the back of the radio. We don't have images at the back. I don't know why. Let me check the description. No photos of the wiring harness at the back. It also has FM radio. Here we have it. We have the right and left speaker output and the interface for your speakers, power, and other things, including the remote cable and accessory cable. There you have all the cables here. Let me see the audio output specifications. Does it have a powerful amplifier chip? I don't know. Most of these Chinese radios, although like this one, it has DAB plus radio, I'm really struggling if I should buy one, because I'm not sure with the kind of radio that I own right now, and many of you actually know it. This is the JVC KDX462BT, and this is quite a powerful radio. Even without connecting it to an external amplifier, it's quite powerful. I use it with 6x9 speakers, and it's quite powerful. So I don't know if whatever radio I'm seeing here, the DAB Plus, will be able to reach the level of this JVC car audio. But it's cheap enough. If I get some money, I can just buy it, review it, and maybe install it in a vehicle somewhere. Although I have searched for DAB Plus car radio, this was one of the results, and this one does not have DAB Plus. This is only a DAB receiver. So if you buy this, you won't get any DAB Plus radio stations that they are currently doing a trial version in Nairobi. And I'm very curious, if you own a modern vehicle, it must have a radio that supports digital audio broadcasting plus or DAB plus. And I'm very curious, does it work, especially if you are within Nairobi? To answer the questions that I posed earlier in the video, no, your modern soundbar, your TV, your FM radio won't be able to receive DAB plus radio stations in Kenya. So what's the difference between the radio stations we can see on the TV and the ones that are currently on a trial version? Well, the ones on the TV are on a different technology, and that is DVB-T2, and that can only be received with a television. The trial version is only DAB+, and I highly doubt your soundbar has DAB+, although if you have an AV receiver, a very modern, expensive AV receiver, you might be able to listen to DAB plus radio stations currently on a trial version in Nairobi, Kenya. And I'm very curious, does it work? Please, someone tell me. If you own those high-end AV receivers, is this new system working? Also, if you have a modern vehicle, it must have a radio that supports DAB plus. Also tell me, is it working? What's the farthest you can go? Is it crackling? What happens when you go under a tunnel? Does the audio just cut off? Like, how is the audio quality? Tell me in the comments below, or just tag me in my various social media available in the video description below. So that's it. I hope you learned something new today. Let's meet in my other live streams, videos, reels, TikToks, and such. Have a nice day and goodbye.